My fellow Americans, my fellow OSU players, in the waking stages of this bracket reset, after witnessing the triumphs of New Jersey to attain their final chance, this chance cannot be wasted. No longer can they consider themselves challengers, but contenders to reach the top of the country against their coastal foe in Southern California. One where we finally witnessed them faltering in the wake of the competitive nature that New Jersey has brought forth. A full reset, a full storyline rewritten, and their destiny for us to behold right here and now. I am your caster, Valeen, joined here with Hydro and Justin.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm just honestly really excited to go see this match. Like what Valeen said earlier, we have two titans of the 5-digit US scene battling it out once again. And while New Jersey won yesterday, I think the fact that the match was so close in multiple picks makes this matchup such a toss-up to kind of decide on. And so I'm super excited to go see what these rosters can go do and whether this brand new day will actually affect the strats and scores of these teams. So would you just want to be able to talk more about the rosters and the picks and bans, Hydro?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us here today. But yeah, yesterday we saw that New Jersey roster. Every single player had their time in the limelight. Yoshi Lover on that Force Mod 1 to bring it to tiebreaker. Merc's Heroics, Celebi's multiple FCs, Little Nebula, Project Will playing that backup on every single hidden map, and Kefin with that reading backing on the easies. And as we restart the tourney client, okay, I think we have it all better set now. We saw a lot of huge picks. New Jersey taking very big points on the majority of the aim maps. Minus that hidden one, but even then, Yoshi Lover still putting up great scores. SoCal on the other hand had a lot of scores coming in from Hygio, their big carry player, but also some huge reading scores from that core of Crickhard and Hygio.
Yeah, nothing that both of these teams are not acquainted with. They just all know each other's skills, what they have displayed in what that first match of Grand Finals winners Grand Finals have displayed. So they have all the receipts against each other here, but it's just all up to them to really see if they can replicate what they've displayed in yesterday's match here.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you. And so I think for SoCal's pick at this point, yesterday they actually banned the Nomad 6, which is the precision map, DT3, which is really straining on the hands, and Force Mod 2, which is going to be more on the precision side and more on the low AR side if you are going to be playing this on hidden. And so I don't think they might actually be changing their ban strategy, especially after seeing what New Jersey did yesterday. I would not be surprised to go see an aim ban probably on SoCal side, and maybe a possible hidden 2 and HR2 ban, but it really depends. And on the side of New Jersey, I think the Nomad 2 and the Flex 2 might still be double bans at the same time. We do have three bans, so New Jersey does have an option to actually flex that and maybe ban something else. I think SoCal did extremely good on that DT4 with Hygio really carrying that as their first pick, but it really depends on whether they want to swap that Nomad 4 ban from yesterday into a DT4.
Yeah, and I think SoCal could also, for their own picks, I think they're likely going to stay pretty solid on those bans that they kept last time, that Nomad 6, that DT3, and that Force Mod 2. I think especially on the modded picks and hidden Hard Rock, New Jersey really flexed what they're capable of, and I think they are going to want to stay more or less the same. And as we actually start to transition into this ban stage, SoCal is going to get this first ban here. I assume it's just going to be another Nomad 6. They lost the precision map by a pretty big margin. There it is. That Nomad 6 coming right out. They are not trying to deal with that super gimmick precision core from New Jersey.
Yeah, kind of expecting maybe similar bans as well from both of these teams, and maybe even similar picks as well. And SoCal, I might even expect him to pick a lot of the easiest once again against this New Jersey core, but also New Jersey. I'm wondering if they watched that VOD and checked how close those easy picks were, and then if they have that belief in themselves to really be competitive once again on those easy picks. But it's also there's more pressure on them now to really close it off here. This is their final chance to really get that podium spot, the top of the podium spot in this country right here. And we're already seeing a Noma 2 and Flex 2 slot, kind of already a similar band that New Jersey had displayed yesterday.
Yeah, completely not surprising bans at all. I think the Nomad 2, like I said yesterday, is something that New Jersey, while they do have Selby, Merc, and Project Will to actually play these Nomad 2s, I think the fact that Hygio especially is going to be someone who's going to be able to go play this kind of map. And I think also the fact that New Jersey themselves don't feel too confident on this type of map, especially with how heavy the flow and how heavy the stamina portion is. It's just something that they don't want to go risk. And as for Flex 2, I mean, we saw how good SoCal is in terms of high AR, especially on the 10.5 from last week. So really not big surprises, but now it's going to be 2 bans on the side of SoCal to really end off this ban phase for them. But yeah, I would not be surprised to go see an HR2 hit and Hidden 2 ban, but let's go see how things change. I know JKD dropped, I believe around less than 300k on that HR2, so I'm not 100% too sure if they want to go leave that up, and especially seeing the scores. But no, they actually are going to be banning the HR1 instead and leaving the HR2. In the meanwhile, like I said, Hidden 2 is going to be banned instead.
Yeah, these Hard Rock 1 and Hidden 2 bans not coming to as the biggest surprise for me personally. Both of these scores had very large carry performances from Little Nebula and Kevin specifically. So banning out these sort of carry player potential maps, which ironically I expected New Jersey to do in the face of Hygio, really it makes a lot of sense, especially when you just have players who are so consistent on these sorts of maps. And as for New Jersey on this last ban, I think they're going to stick to their guns. Might look into banning something like the D2 or Nomad 5, which they did get some pretty some pretty large gaps on, 370 and 430k respectively, against SoCal here. Maybe just leave that Nomad 4 open because they were able, or they were able to eke out some more picks, or some more of the Amy picks in the first set.
Yeah.
But no, they are gonna keep the Nomad 4.
Yeah, they're gonna stick to the same guns here for the New Jersey side. SoCal, on the other hand, actually going to be target banning those Harbor 1 Hidden 2 picks that actually New Jersey did win in because of that more consistency that Harvard 1 was really in favor of them, and also that Hidden 2 where SoCal just looked really uncomfortable on. Only Pritchard really hitting that stride of that A rank and a 350k score as the top score of their state here. So understandably so, banning it if you already see New Jersey just already being much more comfortable in that pick, despite the active efficiencies that Kevin has brought forth. But that combo was just, it was not meaningless whatsoever there. So now New Jersey, you do actually have a lot of those tapping picks open now because of that SoCal bans that are coming in here. So maybe those tapping picks of DT2, DT3 are quite contestable. I mean, we did see the DT2 win over in that SoCal set, so we can maybe expect them to pick it again. But that DT3, on the other hand, could be a very contestable one, though.
Yeah, exactly. I think SoCal does have a really, really clear pick order at this point. I think they did so well on that DT4. They did amazing on that DT2. And there is a possibility of them into going on the double easies as well, especially since both of them are not banned. And so for New Jersey, I feel like it's a little bit less on the clearer side compared to SoCal, but they actually are going to be picking that Nomad 1, which is going to be focusing more on the A-near side and really focusing on the wide patterns.
Yeah, and I think picking Nomad 1 this early, I think they're gonna be the ones trying to hedge this early breakpoint lead this time. SoCal did manage to get the momentum by getting the break point or the first round or a break point in the first round of picks. But New Jersey now going for it, I think that shows a lot of confidence from this team, even with how close the roster is. And I think they just want to get the risk out of the way immediately, right? Because even if they do concede this break point to SoCal, it's early in the match. They were able to take the break points back in that third round of picks. So I think just a matter of confidence and leaving those more decisive picks like that Hard Rock to later points where it might feel a little more decisive.
Yeah, I mean, this one already kind of a risky pick, in my opinion, because of Merc kind of having that really necessary performance that they needed at the second half of this map that really got that score difference towards their side, but just barely on their side. I think around a 40k score difference. That they're 3/4 of the way there on that map. So you can maybe kind of question if they can really replicate that, especially with this is your first map ever, having that nerves comes in on your highest ever, especially with New Jersey in a position that they don't think they probably are in right now, in this position to really contest SoCal even greater right here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the fact that this Nomad won, this is their first pick, it can really open up to first map nerves, especially. I know that Merc did really well on this, dropping a 648k yesterday, but in the face of everything, knowing the fact that they can actually beat a Titan like Southern California, I don't know if that's going to be changing anything or changing the mentality of how New Jersey plays at this point, but I mean, we're gonna see the same, I believe. Oh no, they actually do change some of the roster on SoCal. We still have the same people from New Jersey in terms of Merc, Lil Nebula, and Celebi, but in the meanwhile for SoCal, they actually switch out Crickard with Cat Food. Oh wow, there are a lot of breaks happening right now though.
This map definitely not starting out the same way it did last time. Merc gonna be the only one to hold the FC into this first verse here. But yeah, that switch out from Cat Food, I think Crickhard maybe was in a bit of a stride, but right now they maybe want to rely more on that mechanics core for a map like this. But that is not to say Crickhard is a weak player at all. They are very experienced. But as we get into this first big pattern, Zefkio's now going to find the break. So that's a recovery down, and now that gives a full combo lead coming first key. Let's see how far New Jersey can take this.
Yeah, I mean, even though I said that our nerves can be much more higher on the side of New Jersey, it's even more so on the side of SoCal. You did just lose that first match against New Jersey right here. You're already seeing another miss on the side of Cat Food here. That first map nerves are coming in, but also that Merc miss is going to affect them much more a little bit greatly here. But as I say that though, those combos of Little Nebula and Celebi are still holding on. Those early misses didn't really matter whatsoever right here. They're both matching Hygeo, even surpassing Hygeo, and especially with Hygeo missing already in this halfway point of the map.
He had the Beacon of Light in Hygeo. This guy has been the main carry for SoCal, but with 3 breaks from SoCal, there's still a big combo on the side of New Jersey. But with Merc breaking, with Celebi breaking, there's no combo except for Little Nebula. So is it gonna be enough to actually bring them the point? It's 260k already, looking way better than yesterday.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it's not Merc this time, but Little Nebula, this New Jersey roster starting off on a much better foot, and more than that, they're showing off that consistency from every player on that roster. At this point in the match earlier, it was only about a 20,000 score gap, and already New Jersey just going above and beyond all of these breaks coming from SoCal, and the pick is already far from recoverable, but it's, again, just a matter of how far can this first pick go.
Yeah, I mean, 344k score difference and just continuously gonna rise despite that Celebi miss and giving up their recoveries. But it's just those continuous misses of Southern California that really effectively let New Jersey have this pick, especially with Little Nebula still holding on to their own recoveries here. I think maybe a reverse choke in the making as well, as we witness a 400k score difference and Rising to continue their presence in this number one to improve their number one that they displayed yesterday. Little Nebula, the one to be for New Jersey to improve it right here.
What a beautiful score from Johnson. That Among Us earlier really dating back for New Jersey. Oh, he does find a break, but at the same time, he already did enough. He did more than enough, in all honesty. He could have dropped 200k, and yet it still wouldn't been enough to actually get this point. And what a great pick from New Jersey. It didn't seem like the nerves got to them at all. They're playing out of their mind already. And it's just the first map.
Yeah, this is a very confident first win for New Jersey, and to get it on something like this Nomad 1, that I think that's really going to define their strategy from here on out. They know that SoCal isn't feeling as consistent right now. They know that the pressure is onto them. And SoCal, again, still has very strong picks in those tapping maps, in those more reedy maps like the easy. But they were really relying on the carry performances here, and it's a little concerning to me that this first pick resulted in a lot of dropped scores from their first set. I wonder what they're going to pick right now, owing to that consistency.
I mean, yeah, they did not improve their number one score in the set of Southern California there. So maybe those roster changes not really that bad, but also DT4 is also quite the understandable picture with that flow control patterns that exist also. And it was also their first pick in Southern California as well. Actually, yeah, it was their first pick. And they're here once again to really display that they are still confident in this pick here. And I would imagine that, you know, they could maybe improve it as well.
Yeah, I don't blame them for picking this once again, especially as their first. I think Hygio, Choke, and Crickhard yesterday, they played amazingly on this kind of map. And with this, I think they were able to take out a lot of their first map nerves especially. And with this being the second pick of the entire match, there's still a very, very long way. This is a best of 15. So really looking at a marathon instead. We knew that yesterday SoCal was up 3-0, and yet it still went to TB. So I feel like anything can still happen. But honestly, looking good for New Jersey for Nomad 1, but let's see how SoCal really counters it and how well they do on its DT4.
Yeah, you are definitely right, Justin. This match, best of 15, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But no matter what race you're running, you still have to pace yourself at the start. And SoCal, I think, is going to need a similar performance to how they did in the first set if they want to pace themselves well for this match. Though this does play very well into the strengths of these higher echelon players for SoCal, Hygio and Choke in particular. And it looks like they are going to be switching Crickhard out for cat food here, or at the very least switching Crickhard out. I think maybe switching the strategy up. But New Jersey just sticking to their guns, right? Even if it didn't work the first time, the confidence is there for all these players, Merc, Yoshi, and Celebi. And we'll see how this roster switch up can respond to New Jersey here.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope that these roster switches don't really affect, you know, the mental that of Selkie here, especially for Crickhard as well. I mean, like, it won't be like that great of a confidence boost if you have to really be switched up because of that low scores that you displayed. But honestly, this is your also second chance of getting that podium spot as well. I want themselves to believe in themselves, to have that confidence in them to really improve their scores here. But unfortunately, we're not going to see it here. But we are already going to see like 2 early misses from the side of Yoshi Lover and Celebi. But this map being almost 3 minutes long, nothing to really worry about just yet.
Yeah, exactly. Despite the swap from Crickhard to cat food, there's already a double break from Merc and Yoshi. Crickhard, or Kefu does trade it out, but with that chain miss from Yoshi, it's looking so good for SoCal. I am not surprised that they picked this once again, because look at how Choke and Hygio are doing despite the miss from Hygio. Dude, isn't that much combo from New Jersey to actually bring this back. There is a Celebi combo now, and with Choke breaking, there is a possibility that they actually can bring it back, but they really need to see some heroics from her.
Yeah, Celebi, yeah, she's performing a lot better in this set just to start off, but it's those recoveries on the side of SoCal here. Hygio still with that impeccable accuracy and cat food. Oh, continues to hold. So does Hygio with a big reset. All of New Jersey's gonna reset now, and while the point is not completely over yet, Hygio holding, you know, we're getting a little bit of deja vu here. I think if he holds just a little bit longer, it's more or less going to go the same way as it did in the first set.
Yeah, I mean, 169 score. Hygio still holding on to already multiple misses in Celebi and Merc right before that break, and only Yoshi Lover with the modicum of recovery of 160 combo. Well, as I say that, they just dropped it right there and there on that easy part, so this is already, I think, a definitive point here for the set of Southern California.
Yeah, really, really good pick on the side of SoCal. And while Hygio does break, I feel like it's pretty inevitable that they are going to be getting this point. I mean, just looking at the accuracy, Hygio just looks so confident, and the supporting combo from Choke with a 350 combo, and even with the swap from Quick Heart to Cat Food, I mean, he's doing a lot of the work already, 400k, and there just isn't enough score for New Jersey to actually bring this back, and that's going to be a very comfortable point for SoCal.
Yeah, and something to note, it's not just, even if the scoreline is more or less the same, the team scores across the board dropping by about 150 to 200k across the board. So we're already seeing, even early into the second set, a little bit of that variance, a little bit of that exhaustion coming from both players, even with the 12 or so hour difference, no, 18 hour or so difference between the two matches here for Grands.
And with this DT4 just out of the way, we can maybe expect another aim pick here for the side of New Jersey. And like a Forceman one could be a really great one. It was that Yoshi Lover Heroics that really brought them forth to that tiebreaker in yesterday's match here. And, you know, with Little Nebula kind of already in the hot seat in that number one performance, and also Merc kind of like falling behind as well with their own kind of consistency still rearing its heads for New Jersey. I could maybe expect more consistency picks from the New Jersey side here.
Yeah, would not be surprised to actually go see that. I think the Force Mod 2, now that it isn't banned in this set, there's a possibility of New Jersey of actually picking this, but they are going to be picking that Force Mod 1.
Yeah, that Force Mod 1, I think they're already reading into some of SoCal's weaker picks, right? And Yoshi Lover, right? That score lead going over off the heroics of Yoshi Lover. But still, every player on SoCal, or every other player on New Jersey and SoCal matched each other with the exception of Crickheart and Yoshi Lover. So, with how this match is starting, with how that aim is feeling, this definitely reads as New Jersey favored, but it's just a matter of, will we see another pop-off, or will it be another big team-wide clutch up here?
Yeah, and also, will we also see a roster change-up as well? We didn't actually see Hygio in this Force Mod 1, I believe. I gotta scroll down to that MP link, and yeah, we didn't really see them. It was actually Crickheart, Zepkiel, and Jakady in that roster. Are we gonna see a roster change-up for the set of SoCal? I mean, it did kind of fare them well in a DT4, despite them not really improving their score. It did let them allow for an overall better team score, though, against that New Jersey side, though, where they also didn't really improve that DT4 score as well. But on this particular free mode 1 here, I'm sure New Jersey is really confident on it, especially with the results that they have shown.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't blame them, but I mean, it just really depends on whether you can actually replicate these kind of scores that they got from yesterday. I know Yoshi got 970k, but can he do it once again? You only get one try when doing this. So it's gonna be very, very difficult to go do it, but if you were to gamble all your points, it probably might be someone like Yoshi, someone like Kaijio to actually do well on this kind of map, because these players are just so consistent. They play out of their mind, especially in tournaments like this. The blights do not frighten them once. So yeah, I'm not surprised to go see Hygio, JKD, and Crickhard. I do believe that Hygio is going to be swapping out for Zepkyo on this. And in the meanwhile, New Jersey's going to be picking Yoshi, Project Will, who were the two hidden players from yesterday. But they will actually be switching out Merc from HR to put Selby in.
Yeah, that switch out from Celebi, also a Hard Rock Comfort player. And I was assuming that she would be on this roster normally, but with how Merc was performing, it made 100% sense to put him in then. So I think Celebi also going to handle this pressure quite well. But again, you can't predict anything, even with how slow this map is at 155. These cross screens are just going to be brutal, but it's actually the flow patterns that are going to be taking out our first miss on the side of Project Will, and that is going to give a little bit of a lead to SoCal with the added accuracy drops. And it's a double break already out of the gates coming from... No, a triple break now, full reset from New Jersey coming out of this first PI, or first aim section. And SoCal still holding that three-way, looking a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, despite it being kind of a long map and it being an A map, these small, big these small, big like combos, even FCs, even that all three of them are holding, is just allowing them this 112k score difference already in this low combo density of an A map here in this Dreamcatcher of a Force Mode 1. So right now, you have a lot to really ask for in these three players of New Jersey to really bring it back, and maybe even a couple misses on the side of SoCal. To really answer the prayers of New Jersey's fans here.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just not looking good for New Jersey right now with that triple break from earlier. And I feel like, oh, that double break there from SoCal might actually bring back this lead from New Jersey. And it's all up to Hygio once again. How many times are we going to be saying this? But he needs to actually keep this. Selby and Crickhard do find breaks together, but there's recovery combo on the side of New Jersey.
There are 2 recoveries to 1 FC, and you can see the bar slowly coming over to New Jersey here. But again, Hygio is going to be able to do the work, and that little extra combo from JKD is going to be able to stave off this lead from going too far forward. But it's Yoshi Lover now to find the miss, and Hygio continuing to hold this FC, and it's just Project Will against a full recovery from SoCal here. They are going to be able to turn this around here, SoCal, on this pick. Hygio just putting this into a point of impassability, and I think that's going to decide the pick with Hygio. I've seen into this last section here.
Yeah, I mean, why did we see Hygio in that last time in that Force Mode 1? Maybe in an uncomfortability factor, maybe those consistent misses that appeared in yesterday's matches in that Nomad 1 in those Hard Rock 1s probably was that deciding factor in their mental of their appearance in this Force Mode 1. There goes that Hygio miss with nothing that New Jersey can, I don't know, really respond. I don't know if there's really enough time here. You do see those recoveries of Project Will and Celebi, but 270k on a aim map of this magnitude here, of this low combo density of a map here. I don't know if Project Will really has enough map in him to come back up this score here.
Yeah, exactly, and with Selby constantly breaking and with Yoshi only have 300 combo, I don't think there's gonna be enough. There's not enough density. And while this song is called Dreamcatcher, this might be one of the worst nightmares that New Jersey might actually have, because they just lost their point. They lost their pick on this.
Project Will going to improve his score. Celebi going to be improving on the Hard Rock, but unfortunately, Yoshi Lover is not going to be able to find that miraculous combo into the end, and SoCal is going to be seeing an improvement from all of their players, and they are going to be able to turn the tides on this pick, and they will be able to take the first break point here with a chance to consolidate on their own.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really good. Pat on your back for Crickart there. Getting, I mean, even though it is kind of a lower score than they would expect, they did do enough for their team here, almost 500K for them to really get that score towards their side. It was just, yeah, unfortunate for Yoshi Lover to kind of underperform there. Even though they did have a respectable kind of 500K in them, it was just not enough with High JO still holding on, and also Project Will improving as well, but. Yeah, you just wanted more of your team score to really get that point towards yourself, but already a break point in this match here.
Yeah, exactly. It's very hard to be consistent in that kind of map. I think the wide angle jumps that you've seen, if you just get one break from it and in an unlucky timing, it just really caps your score a lot. And we've seen that in Yoshi's 508k from 920 or 970k from yesterday. So kind of unlucky. And I also want to shout out J. Katie. I think she was able to really improve a lot of her score from 406k yesterday to 539. And doing that with HDHR, that's a big feat. So really props to her. But SoCal is going to be going for that No Mod 5 pick from yesterday. I think that I do believe that New Jersey actually picked this themselves yesterday, but really backfired against them with people like Hygio. I believe Cat Food played this yesterday as well, if I remember correctly. I have to go check. I think it's Hygio, Choke, and Cat Food who played this. Just like the speed roster for SoCal at this point. And I mean, they were able to win it by 371k. So honestly, on paper, this looks like a really good pick.
Just across the board, SoCal looked a lot more comfortable on the tapping yesterday. Hygio in particular doing Hygio things with that 99.2% run. Though, I do think that New Jersey saw a lot of low rolls there. Celebi and Little Nebula maybe not performing up to that standard that they normally see themselves performing at. Meanwhile, just also struggling on the accuracy a little bit more. So maybe they'll see a switch out. Maybe Kevin will switch in for Merc here, depending on who's feeling more comfortable on the tapping, on that accuracy. Meanwhile, SoCal, I foresee them just sticking to the same roster, right? Sticking to their guns this time. And yeah, we see Hygio and Choke up in the lobby. We see Celebi and Little Nebula up in there. But, yeah, Kevin as well, just waiting for, yep, I think that's going to be Cat Food. So, more or less the same rosters, no, the exact same rosters coming from both these states here. We'll see if New Jersey can turn this one around from yesterday.
And it's actually going to be Merc coming over Kevin here. So kind of a roster change up, except for on the side of SoCal, where we're going to stick to the same roster right here. But, I'm hoping those are low rolls from the side of Celebi and Little Nebula, but it could also just be a factor of the map just having so many different things in it, like the aim, the kind of density, and also like the consistent finger control involved as well. And all that's a jazz, and even the tech elements can really affect you. You can't really just focus on your aim here, but I mean, not your aim, sorry, your tapping here, but also needing to focus on your aim much more greatly.
Yeah, exactly. I think the fact that there's just so many skill sets packed into this one map like this, the finger control that you need, some of the aim elements as well, is really difficult. And you saw it from Merc right now, a really stand-up player from yesterday, being the best player actually on the side of New Jersey, and really showing up. Oh no, there is already 2 breaks on the side of New Jersey though. Celebi, Merc, Choke doesn't find a break, but there's already 2 FCs on the side of SoCal still.
Yeah, but as you say, that that second FC from Cat Food is now gone. Hygio's FC is now gone. He's going to be dropping a lot of act there, just misaims the burst a little bit. And New Jersey looking to recover very well. Cat Food finding another miss, and it's now just Choke. But more importantly, even with, oh, there's a big double break, but more importantly, the accuracies on the side of Southern California are looking a lot weaker than yesterday. There goes that final FC on Little Nebula, and it's going to flip over to SoCal with the combos from Hygio and Choke now.
Yeah, recovery's coming in. It's just not looking great because of that little Nebula miss. It missed on a slider break even, so maybe a little bit too focused on your tapping there. But I cannot even blame you because of the amount of things that you gotta focus here, because of the nerves that you gotta account for. You're seeing more consistent misses on the side of New Jersey here. Nothing that they can really match up against in the side of SoCal that is just really holding on to these combos of Choke and Hyjeo right now.
Yeah, I think Choke and Hygio are just playing out of their mind right now. This Nomad 5 is so difficult to be consistent on, and you can see it on the side of New Jersey. They can't hold a combo right now, and meanwhile, Choke and Hygio have around 700 and 800 combo respectively. So what can you go do? It's already a 146k lead.
Well, I don't think that there's much that they can do, but as long as the combos hold, this is really just out of New Jersey's reach. There is a lot of patterns to miss on the bursts and the flow aim on said burst. Really, no, it's the aim. Choke is down. That's one combo, so it's not completely out of New Jersey's reach now, but all of New Jersey would have to hold. And after that break from Merc, the score lead just continues to jump over. Hygio not going to replicate that 600k from yesterday, but they are going to still be putting on that standout performance. And with Little Nebula missing, that's just the pick out of reach now. Hygio with that crazy combo, Celebi with the extra combo holding into this section, but unfortunately getting out comboed and out acted by Hygio here.
Yeah. I mean, Hygio, with comboing this much, I'm pretty sure they are going to reach that 600k right then and there. So them allowing for that 281k score difference and even the team effort as well. I think maybe a little bit of an improvement from their score. No, not really. Just a 100k. Actually, no, a bit of like a 30k score difference between their previous best score there. Choke on the other hand on the B rank, and yeah, it was just a deficiency on the side of actually Choke and Cat Food. But Cat Food actually improving their score as well. So it was just Hydra that improved much more greatly to allow Southern California to bring a fourth there. But yeah, honestly, I mean, New Jersey did improve somewhat there as well, but it just wasn't enough as Hydra's consistency still reigns supreme.
Yeah, exactly. I think the fact that there was just one standout player in Hygio just really cost a point for New Jersey. I know that's a pick for SoCal, but it just seemed like there were so many breaks on the side of New Jersey at that point. It was very difficult for them to be consistent on that kind of map. So really big props. And despite Celebi's heroics getting around 758 combo earlier, it just wasn't enough to actually go against Hygio's incredibly good score.
And going forward, lots of tapping picks available for Southern California. New Jersey here, I think, is gonna have to take a second either to recoup or to rethink their pick strategy here. That force mod one not going their way maybe puts a bit of a dent into their confidence and their strategy going forward, but they do still have picks open for them like that Hard Rock 3 and that Hard Rock 2, but they are going to be going the DT3 instead.
Yeah. This one, a little bit surprising, but also I think it's understandable with the kind of style that this map brings here. You don't really need to focus on your aim at all. You just need to focus on your tapping here. We can expect to see a lot of slider breaks if you don't really account for the amount of notes that are in between those bursts here. It's this consistent non-stop 270 shred here that you cannot falter into the very ends of the map. So I'm curious to see how all these players will perform.
Yeah, exactly. And like what Valine said, I think this Nomad 5 and this DT3 are very, very different maps. While we do call them tapping, this just really, really focuses on the strain, really focuses a lot on your tapping more than aim. I mean, in all honesty, with how tapping players are, they might still be complaining about the aim on this DT3, but it really, really focuses much more on on 270 BPM burst compared to this Nomad 5.
Yep, that you guys summed this map up real well. Pure shred from the moment it starts to the moment it ends. And New Jersey, I think, feeling a lot more mechanical today, considering that they are going to be picking it this early and after losing the Nomad 5. Cat Food, of course, going to be that star player on SoCal that you expect in for this map. Hygeo and Crickhard, you expect to see them in for the support. And I'm very curious to see how Little Nebula and Celebi, this super mechanics oriented duo, how they are going to fare on this double time 3 here, because they, I think, out of anyone here, are very well known for their tapping. Little Nebula much more on the faster side, and Celebi much more for stamina, but still very strong in that pure speed. And then Merc also there for New Jersey as that mechanics support player.
The first half, it's quite simple. I think you would require everyone here to be able to FC that. It's just the second half that is the crutch of this map, though. Maybe even the deciding factor, the outcome of this DT3, of this New Jersey spec. So at the moment, you know, the axe can be questioned here, but we're already seeing an early slider break from the side of Celebi. Not something that you want to see right away, especially with that DT score multiplier that's just going to exponentiate, and with these continuous combos that we're going to continue to see in this first half.
I think the silver lining, though, is that the fact that they have an accuracy lead. I mean, despite Celebi missing, she has a 94% accuracy, and meanwhile Hygeo and Crickhard have 92 and 91 respectively. The only person who can play this really well on the side of SoCal is Cat Food. But is that gonna really matter if everyone from New Jersey actually breaks and SoCal just holds a really big combo? So it just really depends. A lot of this focuses a lot on combo more than any other map in this actual map pool. So really excited to go see. We actually have seen this in the showcase before, or the show match where Remexia actually got an FC on this. So really wondering whether players can step up to this kind of score in match as well.
Yeah, and as you mentioned that we are starting to get into the shred portion of this map. Constant 270 burst here. It's a double break from SoCal, Cat Food, and Crickhard. So now it's just Hygeo having to combat this double FC and the recovery from everyone on New Jersey, but his accuracy is struggling. Crickhard as well starting to falter, drops below that 90 mark, but everyone on New Jersey is just looking rock solid, nerves of steel here. But Hygeo finds the miss, and that's already going to put it on the side of New Jersey. It's just a question of how far can this trio take it now.
Yeah, dude, honestly, the act that Little Nebula is displaying here, the OD being really high as well with these constant 270 bursts as well, is just going to continue for, and Little Nebula is just going to continue for New Jersey here to allow them to get this DT3 pick. Nothing that Southern California can do with this 800K score difference, nay, 900K score difference that could even reach 1 million here as this map is approaching its end. 2 million team score because of those two FCs that Merc and Little Nebula are holding.
It seems like New Jersey took some notes from our fellow speed player Leo, because look at the scores that they're getting. They do find double breaks from Celebi and Merc, but it's still Little Nebula to actually get this 98% accuracy. Oh my god, this is disgusting. I can see why they banned this yesterday.
Oh my god, that is just a disgusting team score all around. Everyone on New Jersey holding deep into that burst shred section in the second half, and they are going to take a staggering score lead, 1.2 million, nearly doubling Southern California here. And SoCal maybe with a misban here, or not maybe, a surefire misban here. New Jersey capitalizing super big on that raw mechanics here. And they are going to at least keep themselves within range of taking this breakpoint back at 2-3.
Yeah, hopefully another chance for New Jersey to tie it up, but still Southern California up breakpoint of their own here. And with their next pick, that could potentially go to a 4th point. And that DT2 is still open, and with the density that DT2 provides, SoCal has been notably better on the density picks. especially with what we saw in yesterday's match here. I mean, I have seen more consistency in Little Nebula here that is being displayed right now. So maybe we can see improvements on that DT2. And with that No Mode 5 win that SoCal has under their belt, I mean, they can maybe lean in towards that DT2, but it's just going to be a question on if they want to, especially after that DT3 result.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on the side of SoCal still, I think, like what you said, Bailey, I think DT2 would be such a good pick, but they actually are going to be picking that easy too. Not a surprising pick at all. I do believe that while it was somewhat close when you were looking at it through the VOD, I think the fact that SoCal just looked so much more consistent on New Jersey in terms of both Easy 1 and Easy 2 just shows how much they can actually lean towards this reading pick. And I do believe that this is actually going to be one of the easier, this on the easier side of easies compared to the first easy slot. But at the same time, I think with the way that Hygio, J. Katie, and I believe Crickhard was the one who was playing this yesterday, I think that they are such good players to the point where they're not gonna have trouble with this at all. And on the side of New Jersey, I think they're gonna be running it back once again. I think Project Will and Kevin is gonna be playing this and at the same time we're gonna be having Merc as well.
Yeah, Kevin though, I think they could switch out Kevin for Project Will depending on how practiced Project Will is, or if he practiced this map. This more ulti skill set. Excuse me. This more ulti skill set not as well aligned with Kevin when it comes to the aim here. And notably, it was actually New Jersey with Merc to get the top score on this Easy 2, even with those double supporting scores from Zefkio and Hygio, just putting it out of range. But those could have been high roll, or they could have been high rolls for sure. Same could be said for New Jersey, but we are seeing the switch out for Kevin here, and if Merc can pull out another miraculous combo here and capitalize on a break or two from SoCal, this could easily be the breakpoint that New Jersey needs to take back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also aware that Kevin isn't really a big fan of this Easy 2 as well, so understandably so, Merc coming in over, not Merc, sorry, I think it was
Project Will.
Project Will coming in over Kevin here. Merc was the one that actually got a lot of those bigger scores for the side of New Jersey there. It was just, it was supporting combos that wasn't really there to really allow New Jersey to get that break point and that easy 2 in yesterday's match. So it's just all now up to SoCal though. All pressure on them to really replicate what they've displayed there. I mean, so far they've kind of been replicating the scores they've been lesser so or higher so, but that Zefkio early miss might not allow them to.
Yeah, exactly. And while we do think of Kevin as the easy player, especially for New Jersey, I think the fact that he got 170k, I don't think he's too comfortable with the slider streams in this. So it really makes sense that Project Will is going to be playing this. And I think that's one of the reasons as to why New Jersey has Project Will in the first place. I think he was able to really fill in a lot of not only the hidden spots that Kevin needed to go play last year, but helps out on the easies that maybe someone can't play. But it looks like New Jersey has been doing pretty well. I think the fact that Zefkio missed on earlier really is bringing this 26k lead to the red team.
It's all in that combo right now, that slight combo lead, and the accuracies for New Jersey just slightly edging out Southern California here. And seeing that scoreboard at the exact halfway point of the map has to bring nerves to everyone here. The lead not in the same spot it was last time, but as we start to get into this very finger control heavy second half, we're gonna see how those nerves hold up, whether Hygio and Jakey can hold up. But no, it's gonna be New Jersey now. Just one FC, and the score lead instantly jumps over as SoCal holds the 3 combos.
Yeah, you would think that Zefkio miss early on would be the biggest factor of this match, but unfortunately with those misses of Project Will and Yoshi Lover, you just now allow SoCal to have that score difference towards their side much more greatly because of those 2 holds that Fishnets and Hygio are holding right now. It's just Merc being the sole one to hold out on this easy. Now these easy picks aren't going to be questionable in the limelight of easy 1 that could be potentially going to get picked here, but still the consistency is gonna be in the favor of Southern California.
Merc, what the
Dude.
What the fuck, Merc?
These scores are disgusting. I think Merc, Katie, and Hygio just played out of their mind on this easy too. Holy shit. And I don't even blame New Jersey. I feel like they were thinking about banning this, but with the team score that they got, like you would not be surprised as to why they left this open. But I mean, SoCal is just really showing their dominance right now. JKD and Hygio especially, shout out to them. I think they played really, really well, and I think the supporting combo on Zepkiel with a 330k has just been really insane.
Yeah, everyone across the board improving, but it's another story of SoCal just holding that second easy combo to just one. And Merc was able to close out the FC, but unfortunately, what are you supposed to do when SoCal responds with a double? While it is their pick, we are watching New Jersey now down 2-4 here, and they're just immediately going into that Hard Rock 2. They're gonna start leaning into these modded picks now, starting off with this Precision Rhythm Hard Rock 2.
Yeah, I could maybe expect a roster change here for the side of SoCal. You did see KD maybe just underperforming much more greatly on their side. Or maybe if they have the confidence in them to do it again, then they can maybe improve that score. But that seed rank is undeniable. So maybe Zevkio could maybe go in it as well. Like I did say in yesterday's match, there's not really a main Hard Rock player in SoCal, but all these players can just fill Hard Rock. So you can maybe even see if Hydro is feeling it in this Hard Rock 2 as well, but I could maybe expect, a similar performance that New Jersey is going to bring out here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think with how SoCal, I think they're so flexible. Zepkiel can go play Hidden, he can play Hard Rock, and this is just only one player as well. And I feel like there are just so many people in SoCal who can fill anything that maybe a core player might not be too comfortable with. So I understand the pick from New Jersey. I think they played really, really well in this HR2, but at the same time, this is not anything to really scoff at. And this is not like this is not going to be an easy pick for them, in all honesty.
Yeah, this is not going to be an easy pick by any means. I think that switch out from JKD from JKD now to Hygio, I'm sure Hygio with getting that practice in, really going to help them out. But more importantly, Hygio, it has been match in and match out, been putting up crazy accuracy no matter the pick. And I think in a very rhythmic map like this, where you can lose a lot of accuracy at the end, if Hygio can capitalize that with both combo and accuracy, this could turn the point around, even though that 400k score lead from last time makes this look super New Jersey favored.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was that underperformance on JKD's side. So just now SoCal hoping for Hygio here to really kind of change the fate of this Hard Rock 2 selection. Already early misses coming in from the side of Yoshi Lover and Choke, but nothing to really write home about just yet. This map pretty kind of lengthy, even though 2 minutes 52 seconds. In the context of Precision, it can really feel like a marathon here, especially with the constant rhythm changes that do appear. Choke and Cafu now missing on this first quarter of the map.
Yeah, and we're going to be really looking at Little Nebula and Hygio to actually get this point for either team. Yoshi has been finding constant breaks, just very unlucky with how these misses are, but at the same time, it's being traded out by Cat Food. Hygio does find a break though, and that's something that you would really want to go see if you're a fan of New Jersey, especially with the two FCs on both Little Nebula and Celebi. It's all up to Choke to actually try offsetting this.
Choke trying his best, even with Yoshi struggling this time around. There are two FCs into the break. Hygio not going to be the one with the accuracy this time around, but no, it's Little Nebula also holding on to that FC. And this score lead is just going to continue to go further and further to the side of New Jersey as long as these combos continue to hold. Little Nebula also, dude, 99.6? Are you kidding me? That is disgusting.
Yeah, I think maybe even the sexiest act we see in the entire tournament right here from the side of Little Nebula here. But it's up to him to hold it on much further. And this 200k score difference pretty big for the side of New Jersey here. But those recoveries are undeniable, especially with Little Nebula coming in with that miss here. It's all eyes on Celebi to really hold on to this score difference, especially with Choke really recovering their combos as greatly now. And Yoshi Lover still struggling in this Hard Rock 2.
just a really big underperformance from Yoshi. But Hygio does find a break, but at the same time, that lead is still going on the side of SoCal. It's slowly lowering. Oh my god, not anymore. It's all up to Selby to actually offset this, and is there gonna be enough time for this to actually bring it to the side of SoCal? Little Nebula is still finding a break, and despite that 97 accuracy, Choke and Cafu do find a break though. It's all to Selby once again. And who else is gonna do it? If Little Nebula, if Yoshi is actually struggling, it doesn't matter. They always have a third.
Yeah, there it is. Celebi bringing out the FC and going to be able to stave off what looked like a very scary recovery from SoCal into this alt section. And it's going to be messier than it was in the first set, but they are at the very least going to improve that team score by a considerable margin. Even if SoCal is able to do the same by a margin of nearly 450k, it's just not going to be enough when you have that consistency in New Jersey, always holding a combo.
Oh boy, and it's good looking for New Jersey as well, with their consistency still holding on despite the pressure that is mounted on them to really continue to replicate the scores that they've shown here. Despite maybe the hiccups at the force spawn one, they're still kind of holding on to that last breakpoint that they've given up here. They just need a breakpoint of their own to get it tied up right here. And as this tournament goes on further, we do see a lot more picks that will be a bit questionable. But for SoCal, those picks of Easy 1 and DT2 are still open. Those were the ones that they win out pretty greatly there. But instead, they're opting in for a map that we haven't seen in yesterday's match at all in Force Mod 3.
Wow, I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised that SoCal actually picked this themselves, especially with how HR3 went, which is a CS0 map. This Force Mod 3 does work in some way, or similarly in that way, in which this is more on the CS2 side. However, since it's Force Mod, we're going to be not only just seeing a Hard Rock, but also like hiddens as well. So it really depends on how SoCal is. And so really interesting to go see this pick from them actually. But I'm worried that this might actually backfire in them.
Yeah, the low CS kind of a defining feature of this map. But this map as a whole, you already hear it. It's Cabario. This is going to be more of a speed tech map. That's a very loose way to describe it, but there's not much. There isn't a better way to describe this map. It's very wide aim control. It's lots of burst finger control. And, I think this really lends well to Hygio and Choke in particular. Cafu going to be able to put up a Hard Rock support. But I think those are the players that they're going to be banking on, Hygio especially, with that big alt aim and finger control prowess. New Jersey, I think, going to be relying on Merc and Little Nebula on the Hard Rocks here. Might be having Celebi on the comfort hidden. No, I think it looks like it's going to be Kevin going to be coming in for this pick. I think this is the first time that we've seen him in this match.
Yeah, I mean, with the big circles, it's understandable that Kevin could be in. We did see Kevin in for the Hard Rock 3 and also displaying a good supporting combos for Merc and Celebi there, who actually shared FCs for the New Jersey scores to get to double FCs in the Hard Rock 3 in yesterday's match here. And I would expect their consistency to really be replicated on that Hard Rock 3 if they decide to choose it in the future. But at the moment now, on this new terrain of Force Mod 3, there are a little bit of controls here and there, but some speed elements to really take into account as well that could maybe catch you off guard.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think the fact that this map can just, with the way that it's mapped especially, I think it's very easy to just break on anything. So really excited. We're going to see the double HR from both Merc and Little Nebula, while Kevin's going to be taking the hidden. In the meanwhile, SoCal is going to be taking a different strategy and double hidden instead on Card and Hygio. In the meanwhile, Choke will be playing this on HR.
Yeah, that double Hard Rock, there is some risk, but some reward there as well. Merc going to be able to hold that extra score buff over Crickhard on the second hidden, but it's going to be Hygio to find the first break. Merc finds a miss, but so does Crickhard on that big reverse slider. That's two FCs to hold to this map. Accuracies faltering a little bit, so it's not coming too far over to New Jersey just yet. Krickhard doing a great job of holding the accuracy despite the combo break.
Yeah, Merc still missing once again. So, and also even Kevin missing and Little Nebula missing as well. A full reset on a set of New Jersey here, as we do see continuous recoveries of Hygeo and Krickhard, and also Choke holding on to the remaining FC on a set of SoCal. It's still a 40k score difference. Still something to really comment about here. If New Jersey can just hold on much more longer here, if these misses comes from SoCal, if you want New Jersey to get that breakpoint for them. So it's 2 misses already answered from the side of SoCal. Now it's just up to Choke to really get that score difference to their side. But now Choke is just going to give up their own FCs here, and the recoveries are now on the side of New Jersey. But more work needs to be done here with this 170k score difference.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left, in all honesty. There's 1:30. And so with the recovery combo from New Jersey, there is a possibility to actually bring this back, but they need to go see breaks from SoCal soon. I think Hygeo and Choke, they're holding up pretty good recovery combo, but at the same time, it really depends on how New Jersey can actually play the latter half of the map. Hygeo does find a break, they finally see the scoreboard, but how will they react to that?
No, so there's still big aim to come here, and with the nerves of holding this lead, it's coming down very slowly, and these slower sections, these calm sections in the music before the build up at the end are gonna let New Jersey build this back up. It's almost in their favor, but they still have a job to do here. Krickhard and Choke trying their best to stave off this double hard rock recovery. It's gonna come over to the side of New Jersey now. Into the last eighth of this map. Everyone's holding the combo here. This next break could decide it. Big jump pattern. It's only Kevin to miss. But the lead is still coming over to New Jersey, but ever so slightly. It might be over unless we see breaks here. There's Little Nebula. Will there be time?
I don't know. The combo
there might be enough
that's
time.
Needed.
There
this
is
is the last slider. This is the last slider. Just enough.
It's Merc.
Just enough for Merc to bring it forth despite the recoveries of SoCal that they've shown. The misses were scary at the end for the side of New Jersey. But at the end, Merc just held on much more longer to disallow the score lead to go to SoCal and getting the breakpoint they needed to tie this up.
This motherfucker is cold, bro. Merc, I believe, is the youngest player, and yet he's still playing out of his mind, really clutching it out for New Jersey. I think one break from him, and that would have been on the side of SoCal, and they actually get this breakpoint. Remember, SoCal actually picked this Force Mod 3, so seeing it go back to the side of New Jersey, we're now tied up back again, 4-4. Holy shit, that was such a close map.
Dude, don't say, oh, Merc's the youngest player. I'm the same age as him. Don't say that. Oh, good God. But still, this breakpoint coming back at this point in the match is going to be huge. You know, now it's an even match, and New Jersey, despite finding that mispick in the Force Mod 1, they've still got some fight left in them here. But the picks are starting to thin out. You know, SoCal having banned out those Hard Rock 1 and Hidden 2s, which New Jersey won quite decisively. Not sure what they could pivot to now. I'm not sure if Force Mod 2 could be the next pick, considering, you know, they just won that Force Mod, and it seems like they have the upper hand on the precision and possibly the hidden reading. And there it is. There's that Force Mod 2 coming from New Jersey here, going to be banking on that modded consistency, that varied modded prowess from this New Jersey roster here.
Yeah, probably one of the stronger Force Mod rosters that we do have in this tournament, but also kind of a different breed of a Force Mod as well because of the higher CS speed here. We're kind of almost nearing that CS6 territory, so with Hard Rock being already over CS7 right there, so a different breed of precision that is needed, even a breed of consistency as well for maybe Little Nebula to display here if they are in for this map, or even Celebi as well here. And this is definitively an aim map, despite, you know, that AR7 also that comes into play. So I don't think anyone's going to be having any mysteries here, but just all in the matter of the aim.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is going to be on the more extreme side in terms of anti-mod. Like what Valine said, it's going to be CS 5.8 and AR 7.7. So really feel like this is favoring a lot more on the hidden players compared to the HRs because of how small these circles are. And I do believe this was a custom, I think, for Courses Open 2024. So really cool to go see something like this. But on the side of New Jersey, not surprised to go see these rosters at all. I think Selby will be definitely taking that HR, and Yoshi and Project Will. The main hidden players for New Jersey are going to be taking that mod. In the meanwhile, I do believe that Cat Food is going to be taking the HR, while Zefkiel and Crickheart are going to be taking the hidden. The main thing is that we actually don't see Hygio in this lobby. So really excited to go see what SoCal can go do.
Yeah, Hygio not being in this, I mean, you do have to choose either between Hyper Precision or AR 7.7 hidden, and the aim is still going to be super difficult. So, fair plays here to take the double hidden for both states. It is going to be New Jersey to take these first few misses. Cafu trading it on the Hard Rock, though, but both hiddens breaking. Not what you want to see for New Jersey here, especially when that means you have to rely on the CS7 player to hold the combo.
It's just, but with how slow this map is, you do need to see a lot of those bigger combos, smaller combos even, to hold out. But SoCal actually just giving up on those smaller combos that is needed for them to get that score lead towards their side. Yoshi Lover giving up their recoveries, but still all eyes on Celebi here. Who would have thought the hard rock player of all players to really hold out to get this score lead towards their side? Celebi missing once again, but it's kind of a reset here between these two teams as we do see similar recoveries between Project Will and Zefkiel. Project Will now giving it up, but also Zefkiel and Catfood trading it out here. No one can really hold it out really consistently here. It's just Yoshi Lover left.
Yeah, exactly. And this kind of plays out sort of like a Nomad 1 in terms of you could find any breaks from any time. And you see it right here. A break from Zefkiel, a break from Project Will, break from Cat Food. This map is really, really difficult to be consistent on, especially in match. And while Selby does find a break, I think finding 240k in the halfway point is just really, really good on HR especially. I think she's really been putting up a lot of the work and a lot of the effort, especially going against someone as good as Cat Food on the same mod. So really props to her, and she's the main reason as to why this is a 200k score lead.
Yeah, but zooming out to the team as a whole, I was going to point out Yoshi Lover's 99%. He finds the combo break, but again, no recoveries on SoCal. Project Will doing more than enough. But more importantly, look at those accuracies between everyone on New Jersey. You look at their counterparts, and they are, 2, 3, even 4% over their counterparts on Southern California. And this accuracy lead that they have is pulling it over is doing immense work to help pull the score gap over, even as SoCal starts to etch out a combo lead. It's very slowly coming back, but there's not enough map. Crickhard has a recovery in the end. Looks like they are going to be poised to take the top score in the lobby, but don't think it's going to matter. And with that break now, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Celebi just like definitively 100k over their 1v1 counterpart in Cat Food there. You're kind of really asking someone like Cat Food, a part-timer in a hard rock department, to really do well in the CS7 Air 10 environment here, and they're just not really faring well here against the side of Celebi, who they themselves consider themselves a hard rock player over a tapping player. And right now, it just displayed well enough here for them to win it out on that hard rock 1v1.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that New Jersey is really showing as to why they are the best precision team in this tournament, with how Selby played, with how Yoshi played, and how Project Will played as well. I think they just look so much more consistent than SoCal on that map, and really shows why SoCal banned it yesterday. I do believe they knew the risk that they took by leaving this open, and New Jersey really took that opportunity and played their cards well.
Yeah, though that does mean that New Jersey has expended both of those maps that SoCal opted to leave open this time. So they can't rely on or on that feeling of SoCal being weak anymore. It's gonna be a battle of grit here, and SoCal still has some tapping maps open, still has that easy one open. I I think even though they did just lose that Force Mod 3 by quite a narrow margin, the DT2, yeah, that was the pick that I was foreseeing from them with the finger control. And SoCal going to pick into it, going to try and replicate that 2+ million that they set yesterday off the back of Hygeo and Cat Food just putting up some crazy 800k scores.
Yeah. And on this particular DT2, even though New Jersey did lose it out on it against the SoCal, who did pick it earlier on actually in yesterday's match here, I think is quite a good strategy for SoCal to pick it later on, especially with the easy one still looming behind New Jersey. So I'm just hoping here for SoCal to maybe replicate a similar performance there as well, but maybe even eyes on New Jersey to improve their score here, especially in Little Nebula.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with the way that SoCal was playing yesterday, they looked incredibly good on this. I think with a 2.36 mil score, that just blew the score out of the water for against New Jersey. And so I think we're gonna be seeing the same people. We're gonna be seeing Hygeo, Cat Food, and Choke on the side of SoCal. And in the meanwhile, New Jersey is gonna be having Merc, Selby, and Little Nebula. And like what Valine said earlier, we really want to be able to go see New Jersey step up. I do believe that while SoCal did really, really well, on paper, New Jersey can also go play this kind of map. And I also still feel like it's kind of interesting, the fact that they're ping-ponging back between different tapping maps. Nomad 5 was picked by SoCal. I think that DT2 was picked by SoCal, but at the same time, DT3 was picked by New Jersey. So it's really interesting to go see how the pick bans are working overall in this match specifically.
Yeah, and that's something that you see once we get to this upper echelon, up to this grand tournament, is that no team ever truly has an edge over another team in a skill set, or at least to that degree that makes an entire skill set unplayable for the other team. And as we go into this map, I think that's something to keep in mind here, is that both these teams have the finger control, they have the aim in order to pull this their way. And as we get into this first map, this first big finger control section with the big doubles and triples, there are traded breaks. Nope, gonna be a double break from New Jersey here as Merc finds an untraded break. So that leaves SoCal to start etching out that score lead. But this map goes so fast. You know, once we get to this break, they'll see the scores. Merc finds another miss. Celebi finds the break. And wait, that is a triple FC. Or no, sorry, that's a triple combo break from New Jersey now to 2 FCs. And this might start getting out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, with how easy the map is going to be until maybe even the last quarter of the map, I think this is already an overpick. 300k score difference. This is just going to continue to rise as the easy part of the map won't really is like going to continue more so, but the hard part is going to come right here. But 400k score difference as this hard part comes through, I'm not sure New Jersey will just hold on much more longer here, especially with this 500k score difference that's going to keep rising, and those two misses of Celebi and Merc. So nothing that New Jersey can do here in the face of these two potential FCs.
Dude, look at that lead. That's almost going to be a 1 million lead for SoCal. And while Choke did find a break earlier, and same with Cat Food, it's just not going to be enough for New Jersey. You can't beat this score. You can't beat SoCal on this kind of map. And Hygeo is proving himself as to why they call him the king.
Okay, that is just out of this mind. By the way, Little Nebula held through that entire ending, just the break at the beginning, but it's futile in the name of an FC from who other than Hygeo, the star, the rock of this SoCal roster. And so they are going to keep it even 5-5, and we've been here before. The picks are starting to really thin out here. New Jersey, though, they've kind of exhausted most of the aim picks. They've exhausted those banned maps and the maps that they had some decisive wins on. but they've already matched that performance that Georgia put up against Texas last year in the bracket reset. So a commendable performance up to this point. But what's next? You know, what could they do to possibly push this even further?
So, two obvious picks that are left for both these two teams on New Jersey's side, not Hard Rock 3, and on Southern California side, that easy one. But a consistent feature of what we saw in those two picks was a lot of those players from both sides held on much more longer, even after that halfway point there.
Oh my
So
God.
it's just going to be a very closer pick than you would expect if those picks were to be chosen. But instead, a newer look of a DT1 here.
I am surprised New Jersey picked DT1. We know that New Jersey can play DT1, for example, like Little Nebula, especially the standout performance, and same with Selby. But at the same time, I think the problem with New Jersey before was that they just didn't have enough supporting players, especially on their third, to actually play this kind of high AR. And so I'm worried about this pick, in all honesty, for New Jersey, because there is this HR3, which I do consider a pretty good pick for them. But with the way that SoCal also played on it yesterday, maybe they're looking for that as the last pick for them. So really interested to go see how they feel on this. Maybe they feel really confident on it, which is why they picked it. But I can also go see SoCal do really well on this as well.
Yeah, and I think there is something to note that SoCal has been the team much more, they've been a lot more receptive to picking stuff like this DT1, to playing maps like this DT1. I mean, they were the one to play it in the finals weekend. And New Jersey, when they played this map, I believe when they played this map the first time around, let me make sure, they did play this first time around against New York, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Or was that in the winners finals?
I mean, they did.
They actually did play it.
Yeah, I think they did play it.
Yeah, they did play this already.
Yeah, so I think with SoCal on that winner side, they do have kind of that receipts on New Jersey's performance. And, you know, let's call back to what SoCal did to New Jersey in semifinals with that triple DT1 FC. But the difference between this one and that DT1 is the high AR. And that the low AR ish kind of allowed SoCal to really have that triple FC, but you know that high AR did kind of let them falter a bit against New York in that winners finals match there. So actually allowing New York to win that DT1 if I recall correctly. So it is actually going to be quite the contestable pick here, even if it is a good pick for New Jersey.
Exactly, and I do believe that New Jersey actually won this point against New York with a 1.9 million score. But I think the question is that going to be enough to actually beat someone like SoCal, someone like Choke, Catfood, and Hygio, who look really, really confident on this kind of pool, or this kind of map in general?
Yeah, 1.9, you know, I'm thinking this time that might not cut it, but all of these players holding up to the challenge. Merc going to be the first one to find a miss, actually. But that score lead not going to come over just as fast, but then now it's going to come over way faster with Celebi finding the miss. It's just Little Nebula on the FC with a triple FC to hold from SoCal, but the accuracy is looking a little bit down right now. But again, doesn't matter as long as they hold the combos. But the moment we see some breaks, if we see those breaks, it's going to start to look a lot more New Jersey favored, but Merc breaking is just not going to help that case at all. 100k lead coming to the halfway point for SoCal, and there's still so much more to go. Still another Ki, and oh my god.
Two misses already displayed on the side of Southern California as we are in the limelight of the second Ki here of this DT1. It's just now a 1v1 against Little Nebula and Hygio. All the combo advantage is towards the side of New Jersey with the recovery of Celebi to slowly bring that score difference back. But unfortunately, Celebi is just going to miss there. Not really what you want to see for the side of New Jersey here, especially with Hygio still holding on to this FC of DT1 against the Little Nebula. But unfortunately, on the bus ladder, Little Nebula has broken on this DT1 here. And I don't know. I fear that this could be another breakpoint given up here.
Yeah, exactly. Hygio with almost a 1000 combo. I don't think that New Jersey can actually do anything to actually stop this. SoCal's gonna be getting this break point, and despite Hygio missing 96% accuracy, I don't think it matters. Combo is just the big factor when it comes to this map, and I mean, we've seen constant breaks from New Jersey, so it makes so much more sense as to why they're losing by 250k.
This time around, unfortunately, the combo is not going to be there for New Jersey. Cat Food also lots of good recoveries coming in from the rest of SoCal. Choke and Cat Food finding big combos, and Cat Food recovering that accuracy. They are going to be the ones to break the 1.9 million barrier, and New Jersey's pick is going to backfire on them. This break point, SoCal now has their own pick to bring this to tournament point, and they've still got that easy one waiting for them. They've still got that security in the easy one waiting for them, and I think that's going to be the pick that comes from them now that they have this opportunity to capitalize. Little Nebula, had he not broken, would have just had enough with that crazy accuracy to bring it over.
Easy one is looming over New Jersey side, but I would like to mention that it was really, really close up until the last quarter of the map, actually. And it was just those misses, maybe the nerves that got to New Jersey more so on that easy one compared to the side of SoCal. So it really matters so much more here that you're really comfortable on this easy one here to be able to play it well and to have that nerves of steel to be able to hold on much more longer here, especially with that second breakpoint that New Jersey has given up.
Yeah, exactly. It is not looking good on the side of New Jersey. Losing that DT1, I know they have another pick possibly, but at the same time, is that going to be enough leeway for them to possibly win this or even bring it to tiebreaker, in all honesty? So looking pretty dire on the side of New Jersey. I think that, like I said earlier, I think the supporting combos were a little bit dire and really lacking on Selby and Merc. And while they did play really, really good on other maps as well, it just seemed like they weren't able to get it going on that DT1. But they actually, SoCal is going to be picking that Flex 1 first before going into that easy, most likely.
Yeah, and this is a dangerous situation for New Jersey now, because both these picks that SoCal has left are going to be on maps that, pretty importantly, SoCal won by pretty wide margins. It's gonna take a miracle here. It's gonna take New Jersey digging deep here in these final three picks in order to take it back, and that has to start with this Flex 1. I don't think the easy 1 odds look as good, so I think this has to be a win for New Jersey here. And it is possible Hygio and Choke, or Hygio pulling out that FC on Game Brain and Choke pulling out that near FC just 200 combo away, does leave it open, but that means that New Jersey has to do more or less the same, if not better. And I think New Jersey, yeah, going to stick with that roster of Merc, Nebula, and Celebi. SoCal, I would imagine they'd want to stick with Hygio, Choke, and JKD. JKD coming in, especially after that performance on the Force Model 1. She has done particularly well, particularly comfortable on that hidden hard rock, as Valine mentioned in the first set. A bit of a comfort mod combo for her here.
And I would have to agree with you that New Jersey, I think this is kind of a requirement to win this breakpoint here, to disallow SoCal to have a match point already in the hands of them, and especially with that easy one looming in, as they still haven't picked it yet. A pocket pick of SoCal that is still hasn't been chosen here, and expect it to be their last pick here. I think New Jersey, they have to, if they do lose this, they have to change their fate on that easy one here to really hope for SoCal to maybe even just not have a great time on it. But for now, on this Flex 1 here, all eyes are on those consistent factors on both sides of the state here as we're nearing the dying hours of this match.
Yeah, exactly. And like what Valine said, I think that this is going to be really, really dire if New Jersey loses this point. But at the same time, how much do they need to do in order to dig deep like this? Merc does find a break, but at the same time though, SoCal is holding this triple FC. Choke does find a break. So, looking like 2 FCs on both teams, but this map is pretty, at least I'd say like relatively middle in length, I would say.
Yeah, this map just under 3 minutes, so it's not going to be the longest, but it sure feels long when you're in this scenario. SoCal just having a very slight accuracy lead, but you need to keep your eyes on JKD, Fishnets in the top right. You need to keep your eyes on Hygeo. Merc finding another break, so now the recoveries are in favor for SoCal as well, even with New Jersey taking that slight lead, taking that accuracy lead. But Celebi drops the second FC. That's going to be a disaster for New Jersey here. JKD trades it out, so there is a bone there, but still the combo leads on the side of Southern California here. Hygeo holding that FC yet again. But oh no, this is not looking good for New Jersey.
The flow factor, the hidden factor that just adds on to the volatility of the RNG aspects of the flow. And unfortunately, it is just Hygeo and Choke that are just going to continue to hold on to have that RNG be in their favor on those flow patterns to maybe play even better than their counterparts of New Jersey here. 200k score difference, and just going to continually rise as you don't have any particular noteworthy recoveries on the side of New Jersey to really write home about to compete against them.
Yeah, exactly, and I think Hygeo has just been playing amazingly. Same with Choke, the recovery combo with that 600. That is absolutely beautiful, and there's just nothing that New Jersey can actually go do to stop this. And if you're a fan of New Jersey, what do you do now? SoCal is gonna be going to match point, and we are really relying on what New Jersey's next pick is, which is probably gonna be this HR3. But can they actually win that point?
Who knows? You know, this is the risk that comes with being down at this point. I mean, Merc has been able to FC it twice. Celebi's been able to pull out an FC, but SoCal has just been able to completely turn around this momentum. And, you know, even on a map like Hard Rock 3, where you think shaking off nerves isn't something that you could do, when the pressure is on you in this scenario, when the cards are down and you know what has to be done in order to stay alive, right? It's easy to get stuck in your head here. New Jersey, they could be calling a timeout here, but I think that they just have to bank on this Hard Rock 3 Hail Mary and hope for the break point. But SoCal all of a sudden looks a lot more dominant from after these past few maps.
Yeah, and also Merc just really underperformed on that Flexman 1 compared to his 739k in yesterday's match. Not really showing that consistency that he has been displaying throughout the first 2 matches that they've played in this weekend's of grand finals here. And if you really want to rely on Merc's consistency in our Hard Rock 3, you would need for him to really step it up here. And with this Hard Rock 3 pick that Little Nebula has given out for New Jersey, I'm hoping, dear God, that the consistency is going to show up here.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you. There is a possibility, especially with this HR3, that New Jersey can actually bring it up to 6-7, but at the same time, they do have to find a break point on SoCal's pick in order to actually bring this back to TB, but at the same time, they have to go do it. They have to go do it one step at a time, though. Make sure that they can get this point and then focus on SoCal's pick, but it looks really dire. So with the light shining the brightest, can New Jersey do it?
I mean, if there's any map that I would want to bank the beginning of a comeback on, I think it would be this Hard Rock 3, even with how close it was. You know, it seems that New Jersey really has a stride in this map. We saw it yesterday. We saw them improving even on that Merc FC from the first set. But this is, again, a very scary pick. Kefin, I think, Kefin's going to have to step up from yesterday, especially on the accuracy department. Celebi is going to have to be able to match or at least get near her performance. And right now, it's going to be all eyes on Merc, who's been pulling out the double FC, who's been fighting off, or who played the hero yesterday to push Southern California to this bracket reset. But Southern California, I mean, Haijio and Choke have just been playing on a roll this entire match, and Zefkiel with that big support on the Hard Rock 3 last time as well. They are also just as poised to take this point and finally reach the zenith here.
One more chance that New Jersey has given themselves with the results of yesterday's match, and a requirement of them to win this out, a requirement for the consistency to bring through here, to replicate what they've shown here. But all 6 of these players were in that same Hard Rock 3 roster yesterday. They FC'd the rest of the way until the middle of the map as well, to halfway. You need to have that nerves of steel to really bring it forth here for New Jersey.
Yeah, and it's like different expectations from both teams. I think SoCal, knowing that they're so close to this crown, so close to actually getting this badge. In the meanwhile, New Jersey really needs to dig deep for this. Merc does find a break, and so it's already looking a little bit bad for New Jersey, but there is a double break from SoCal.
That double break from SoCal does give New Jersey a bit of a lead here. Haijio finding the miss, so more importantly, 3 combos on SoCal down. Now this map will not let up, but that gives some light here for New Jersey. Even with that break from Merc, they've still got the combos on Kefin and Celebi. And as we continue this absolute barrage of sliders, no one finding a breaks the recoveries, holding up well, just the accuracies, though they are starting to falter, especially for Kefin. And here we go. This section is going to be incredibly hard. The quints, the consecutive 220 bursts, these are just, wow. Everyone holds through that, and that's going to give New Jersey a pretty big cushion of 150k into the halfway point.
This cushion, though, is very, very fragile. Those recoveries cannot be understated in the side of Southern California that are still holding on. These holds of Kevin and Celebi, this time Kevin on the hot seat, unlike Merc, to really hold out for New Jersey. Almost a 200k score difference. Holds are needed here for the side of New Jersey. Holds are continuing for both sides of Southern California and New Jersey. Holds are more so coming in on the side of Merc to help out Celebi and Kevin here. 200k score difference and still rising, but can rapidly fall if we see one singular miss from any of these misses from New Jersey. But you want to see more misses of Southern California if you want New Jersey to win it out.
What are all these players doing? Look at the combos. Haijio does find a break. Same with Choke. It's just Zepkiel, but he does find a break though. It's all up to New Jersey. When the light shines the brightest, they can actually do something about it.
They're not just gonna take this Hard Rock 3. They're gonna take it in style. Celebi breaks the FC. Everyone on New Jersey gonna get their turn to FC this map, and they are going to do it, improving their team score. That double break from New Jersey doesn't matter anymore. It's 600k in the lead, and New Jersey now on the back of Merc will get this Hail Mary, and they will survive. This is the final pick of the tournament from SoCal now, and New Jersey has one last shot to bring it to the very end, to this tiebreaker yet again.
But we have said it all throughout the tournament. The easy one being opened for SoCal, the one that let them win it out. And compared to yesterday's match, it was New Jersey that went out that Hard Rock 3. Are we going to see the same with SoCal winning this easy one if they decide to pick it? But it was also kind of a consistency factor that all 6 of those players in the easy one that brought forth there that also FC'd until the first half of the map. But you need New Jersey to step up just more if the easy one gets selected here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be an easy one pick at this point. And with yesterday's with yesterday's match going on, I mean, SoCal just looked so good on that map. Hygio with an FC, I believe, with 484k, and with Jay Katie and Kirkhard with such good supporting combo, they just seem like they just seem so consistent on that kind of map, beating New Jersey by 135k. But wait a minute.
What? It's not the easy one? Wait. Okay, this is an interesting one. Okay. I'm not sure what the motivation here is. I mean, there was that 1v1 in the first set between Zefkio and Yoshi Lover. There were those high scores coming from everyone on SoCal, but Hidden 1 to close out this pick instead of Easy 1. I'm personally a little bit iffy about this. We did see Yoshi Lover struggle a little bit, notably on that Force Mod 1, not able to hold the big combo, so maybe they're banking on Yoshi Lover not being the carry player this time around. But nonetheless, this is still a pretty intriguing pick, especially with how much more dominant that Easy 1 was in the first set.
I mean, Yoshi Lover was not even the deciding factor. They were just the one to just delay that inevitable of the Hidden 1, allowing SoCal to win it out in yesterday's match. They were that highest scorer in that Hidden 1 lobby with 854k score difference, but it was just not enough here with their supporting combos, just not enough to support Yoshi Lover here. But with 129k score difference between those two scores, this could still be contestable, but it's just all eyes on those supporting combos, supporting elements especially, to really help out Yoshi Lover, or for any of those supporting elements to really shine bright here to allow another opportunity of tiebreaker.
Yeah, and while Easy 1 has not been picked, I mean, SoCal is known to be the hidden state, so not a complete surprise, but at the same time, like what Valine said, it really depends on the supporting combo. I think Zefkio played amazingly yesterday on this Hidden 1, but can he actually recreate his score and bring this to SoCal? But there is a part. Oh, Merc does find a break. Same with Kirkhard. I mean, it's 4 minutes long. This is not gonna be the factor, but I think Nerves might be striking some of these players.
Yeah, and most notably, that big carry player Yoshi Lover going to be finding a miss here, so the combo lead going to be on the side of SoCal just to start us off here, though. The accuracy's just about equal, slightly favoring SoCal with the extra accuracy on Hygio, but now that's going to change Kirkhard. We saw them finding these breaks, Merc trading them out, but that's just going to leave it nearly dead even at the start of this first Ki, and we'll see how they respond. This mix of awkward aim angles and very hard to control bursts.
Yeah, a lot of your consistent factors in your players like Little Nebula is just gone now because of this Hidden that's coming in. You're just now gotta be reliant upon Yoshi Lover and Project Row to keep it closer than ever. Kirkhard once again missing. Yoshi Lover giving up on their own recoveries is just not gonna look good right now unless you see continuous misses of SoCal coming in. You need to see those misses of SoCal coming in to not allow the score difference to go much more higher and for Project Row to hold on as well.
Yeah, but Hygio and Zefkio just look so confident, and Merc does find a break. That's not looking good if you're a fan of New Jersey. And with that 850k on Hygio and Zefkio once again, that lead is going to be going to SoCal.
Yeah, something that I guess we should have pointed out. There's been a lot of Bancho breaks this map, so the recoveries, they are starting to favor SoCal, but there is still fight from New Jersey. The score lead has only been about 50,000 at most during this map, and in this second Ki, Merc now is the one to struggle. There's recovery from Kirkhard, and that's going to let the lead go a little further, but this second Ki is going to be crucial. Any breaks here, Kirkhard's won, but that's not the one that matters. Same with Merc. It's just these combos. What can Hygio and Zefkio do? What can these two players...
Oh!
Zepio now going to be the one to find the break, and that was a real miss. Doesn't look like it was Bancho. And now Hygio the hero, but Project Will finds the break. So now Hygio's going to be the only combo on the board. Merc finds the break. Hygio holding this FC.
Oh my god!
Break!
It's
Oh
Bancho
my
again,
God.
though. Project Will is actually still holding on.
Oh my
Hygio
God.
missing the opportunity of a lifetime for New Jersey to bring it back. Is that a real miss of Project Will once again? But that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, as Yoshi Lover is holding on. But there goes the miss of Yoshi Lover, though. No notable recoveries are coming
these
in
have
right
to be
now
real misses.
between
Oh my
these
God.
two teams as the break comes in, as we see real combos coming through. Only notable recoveries of Hygio coming through. 57k score difference are standing between them and tiebreaker right here and right now. Zepq with the miss. 46k score difference, slowly going towards the side of Southern California.
Oh my God, he broke!
missing. The misses are coming for Southern California. This is the opportunity for New Jersey to bring it forward with the recoveries of Yoshi Lover, Merc, and Project Will coming through.
Are we reliving the same day from yesterday? What is going on? What is happening? Why is New Jersey holding 300 combo? Oh my god, Yoshi does find a break, but I don't think that's gonna be enough with Hygio breaking. Crickard is trying his best, same with Zepio, but it's not gonna be enough. We're gonna be going to TB!
The second TV in a row. Are you kidding me?
Oh my god.
Justin, slap me awake, because we are reliving yesterday. We are reliving last night. And SoCal, yet again, pushed to the brink. What looked like an impossibility has now happened twice in a row. And now, New Jersey, they've been given the chance of a lifetime here. And we are seeing a double tiebreaker in Grands. What are we doing? What is happening? What is this timeline that we're in?
My days. Has New Jersey rewritten their destiny in winning out the Hidden One? I did say that the 129k score difference in yesterday's match of Hidden One could be very contestable. You just needed those supporting elements to come through, and they did, with Project Will coming through and supporting Yoshi Lover, even matching their scores here to get that score difference towards New Jersey's side and allowing them once again to go get this tiebreaker opportunity.
Dude, how are we back to this? We have just been ping-ponging back point after point after point. New Jersey looked out. SoCal was up 7-5. And yet New Jersey not only was able to get their pick of HR3, but was able to get a breakpoint on this Hidden One. How are we back to this TB?
Yeah. The more that we move forward, the more things stay the same. And, you know, it's up to Southern California now. They're reliving last night. This is deja vu for them. And with the momentum turned against them with these break points, will they be able to change their destiny? Hygio, Choke, and Cat Food. You know, once we switch to these rosters, I think we're going to be seeing the same rosters as last night. Celebi, Little Nebula, and Merc. Maybe Merc switches out, but the consistency from the mechanics on this roster will likely hold. And this time around, SoCal is going to be the one to struggle to find their roster. They are going to be the ones, they've probably called a timeout that we weren't able to see in the chat. But it is up to Southern California to rewrite history, to rethink their strategy, and to possibly bring the gold back to the West Coast for the first time since the inaugural 5USC.
Wow. A second bout that happened 4 years ago and went to bracket reset also, but here in a more grander, in a more closer affair. Now both matches, first grands and now bracket reset, going to tiebreaker, and I think it is kind of a timeout for the side of New Jersey here, and I think I might be expecting also a roster change as well because of that choke underperformance that they did display. There's no doubt about that choke is very good in that attacking department, but maybe it was just that nerves factor that really got to them. So now you need maybe another element in Southern California to really bring it forth here for the final map of the Major League.
This is what competition is. These are the good nerves that you see in match. I think whoever just steps up, it just really shows how good of a player they are, especially when their backs are against the wall. But I do believe that we're going to be seeing Merc, Selby, and Little Nebula for this. But like what you said, I think the rookies and Choke, we are really looking for him to be able to really step up. I think Project Will did that in the Hidden 1. Despite being 6-7 down, I do believe that he was able to do his best and really be a main factor as to why they were able to bring this to even TB in the first place.
Yeah, as the clock ticks, as that timer reaches its end, we're starting to see SoCal's roster trickle in here. I am so excited for this last map, man. I am jumping around. My heart is racing right now, and we're seeing them trickle in. Choke, it seems, will be switching out for Crickhard here, and Crickhard, this history player for SoCal, has been there since the very first tournament, been on A team for, I believe, 4 out of the past 5 years, and they could be this final piece that Southern California is looking for. They have the experience, they know what it's like to be in this situation, and the question is, will SoCal be able to rewrite history here? 7 minutes until we get our answer.
Expectations on an all-time high, pressure on an all-time high for all of these 6 players, for the consistency that they have shown, for the performance that they have shown, for the heartbreaks and for the miracles that they have shown. It is now the final map of this tournament that will decide everything here for the highest position of this country in this 5-digit range. And this is just going to be a slow burner as this map continues on.
So many expectations, so many doubts, so many feelings, just condensed into this 7-minute map. Let's see how these players do with the amount of nerves, with the amount of doubt that they have behind in their mind. But Catfood does find the first break.
Yep, that first break from Catfood just found a pretty big misaim on those 2 jumps, you know, and with how those are pretty small jumps, Catfood, I think, might already be feeling the nerves. But as we really start to bite into the mechanics of this map, not seeing any major tapping sections right now, it's gonna be Celebi going to be finding the first break for New Jersey here, but it's traded out immediately by Hygio. And look at that, it's now just Crickhard. They are going to be the one to try and piece together SoCal's first win. And this map still unrelenting. Celebi finds the second break, but it's a break from Crickhard, and they see it into the break.
Don't look at the scoreboard.
15k score difference, though, nearing 16k, but still a very, very much close affair here. This map is very much long in its presence as well. You still need those holds from Merc and Little Nebula to hold on much longer to get that score difference towards their side to make Southern California work for it here. It's just not going to be enough, though, as you would require them to maybe even have more combos in the halfway point.
Yeah, and with that break from Crickhard, it's looking even better for New Jersey. While Celebi did find a break, there isn't as much recovering combo from Catfood and Hygio.
Yeah, and now as we get into the first super big PI here, Celebi struggling to hold the combo this time around, but that is more than made up. Hygio, though, it does have the recovery, and so does Catfood, but it's going to be Crickhard and Celebi to be the weaker links here at this point of the tiebreaker. There goes Hygio, though. That's a big recovery down, and now Catfood already behind on the combo. Now is only in here, but there goes Catfood, And there's still 2FCs into the halfway point. Nebula and Merc, the two heroes of this New Jersey roster this time around. Celebi shaking off, will be able to shake off these nerves a little bit, finds the recovery, but her team is there for her. And oh, this score lead is already 160k. This is larger than any score lead that we saw on the TV last night.
The misses in the halfway point, just so unfortunate on the side of Southern California, just now allowing Merc and Little Nebula to propel New Jersey this score difference of 236k score difference in a 7-minute long map. Merc's miss probably won't even matter in the grand scheme of things when Southern California can do nothing but stare at Little Nebula's combo that continues to rise here.
And the supporting score from Selby as well, 570k with 98% accuracy. Dude, what are these accuracies from New Jersey? What the hell? SoCal is also doing so well as well, but at the same time, they just don't have the combo. The only person who they need to find a break on at this point, if you're rooting for SoCal, is Lil Nebula, but he's looking so fucking cold.
Stone cold. There's the double break, the triple break on that stream. But guess who's continuing to hold? It's Little Nebula. Crickhard trying their best, but it's looking almost futile. And you've got to be kidding me. Little Nebula is still MCing. We are 2/3 into this tiebreaker. Little Nebula already holds the PB record. He finally misses. But that is a score lead of impassability here. Little Nebula has brought it to 300k. And all Crickhard and Hygio can do can play.
Oh my god!
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The misses that come through in Southern California, nothing they can do in this 300k score difference of 7 minutes long. An impossibility for Southern California to bring back. If only those holds of Catfoot and Hygio held on much more longer to compete against Little Nebula. And Justin, I'll have to leave it to you to respond to your home state's win.
4th place in 2023, 4th place in 2024, 4th place in 2025, and even 4th place this year in Minor League. They have been doubted, they have been discarded, they have been dismissed, but they never faltered. We were told that 5USC was the kingdom of Hygio, but what's a king to those who refuse to bow? Congratulations, New Jersey, for winning the 2026 5-digit United States Cup.
The break all New Jersey can do is breathe out and revel in this victory. Justin, I leave it to you again for this very ending.
This has been so much hard work, so much effort, so many feelings just on the side of New Jersey. Like I said earlier, it has just been a 4th place finish every single time in both Minor League and in Major League. Lil Nebula, Celebi, Merc, they have all been in for 4th place finishes within the past couple years, in all honesty. And the fact that they're finally able to beat that top 4 break and was finally able to win a tournament just shows the amount of grit, the amount of passion, and the amount of ability and talent that these players have. And I'm just so proud of them.
New Jersey strong. It's already, you see it in the chat, the GGs, the New Jersey Strongs, and SoCal. It's gonna slip out of their hands. They will not be able to change the course of history, to take this deja vu and spin it around. And they, despite all their fight, will have to concede to this New Jersey roster. This is a roster that has been building for years and years. So many storied players, Rich P2K, Terrado, Blank, Justin here with us. They have watched New Jersey falter. They have watched New Jersey taste defeat at the edge of the podium. But they will finally be able to stand atop this zenith and claim the gold. it's Yoshi Lover, Little Nebula, Merc, Kefin, Celebi, and Project Will to bring it home and give us now the 4th different state to take a Major League title. Congratulations to this roster. The grit, the hard work, and the absolute steel of this team on full display now for everyone.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. All the flowers can be given to New Jersey, man. We're all just all of us casting booth just out of breath here, just stun-locked from what we just seen from yesterday's match and this match right here. Just unbelievable performances, unbelievable breakpoints, unbelievable miracles that happened throughout this match, and all the flowers will be going to New Jersey here. East Coast once again winning another chip of this 5USC Major League, and honestly, what else is there to say but congrats to them, to allow them to revel in their win here. But on the other hand, SoCal just losing another chance here, but also another height that they have actually broken through. Their last highest height they've had was 3rd place here, and this is just 2nd place here. There was that opportunity for them to win it out yesterday, but it was unfortunate for them to let it slip here and yesterday as well. So yeah, I think honestly for the Major League, it will be it for us. There will be a show match for the minor league players that will be showcased immediately after this as well. But there will be a minor league to be displayed as well tomorrow night in Texas B versus SoCal B as well. But other than that, is there any last words that are needed here?
No,
Yeah.
in all honesty.
I think, well, not to end this off, we let New Jersey revel, but as you said, we have to give our props to SoCal A being able to break this dry streak and finding themselves amongst the podium again. Even this team has, again, been through so many changes, so many shifts, and despite the performance and the result that they may not have wished for, I hope that these teams after the fallout can come home happy, at least knowing that they were amongst the greats of this edition. And to New York as well for that 3rd place finish, for finally also breaking that podium. This 5USC has been an absolute blast and an absolute shakeup from the dominance that we've seen in states for years past. And I, for one, am excited to see what comes next, not just in the Major League, but also for the minor league and the rest of the United States 5-digit scene. But with that,
exactly.
Unless there's more from Justin, I think that we do have, or that we can call it for this Major League stream, and we can focus on the minor league now. And with that, no final words. That leaves us to, well, thank everyone here for watching. To those who are still here, to listening to me and Vaylene these past 2 nights, or me, Vaylene, and Justin for these past 2 days, for letting us cast your 5UC Grand Finals. And we hope to see another rendition of this tournament return, see the competition, to see the shakeups, and to see the talent come back year after year. But most importantly, this could not have been done without the support of you watching. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here week after week. We only have a few more matches to go in the minor league, but do stay tuned for those. It's been a pleasure. Hydro, Vaylene, and Justin. And I think that'll be it for us, at least for now.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Goodbye for now.
Alright, guys. Don't go anywhere, though. If you want to catch the minor league show match that's happening in just a few minutes, we will be right back.